guys, this is KK2000. Me and Mr. Munchie here, or Crap Rack for you guys on his channel. We're gonna be doing a motivational speech. So, Timmy, you want to tell about the topic?
So the motivational speech topic today is explaining how a lot of people these days are obsessing over money, and they're willing to take that money to extreme risk even with people's lives. So, do you want to start off, or shall I?
You can start off since you came up with the topic, and then I'll jump in.
Okay, so if you're still curious and you don't get what we've been saying, what my first sentence was, a lot of people obsess over money today. Money is a lot. I bet a lot of you have heard the love of all money is the root of all evil. And a lot of people obsess over money to an extreme extent. I've had a friend at the pool when it was raining to almost jump into the pool when it was raining and there was lightning for a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
A quarter.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
Yes. And I'll tell you who it is later.
Okay.
And there's people who are willing to risk their lives for that much money. Like, if you see people on game shows, like, or not game shows, like America's Got Talent, there's escape artists, or some people who are just completely retarded and fall in needles or something for that $1 million or whatever.
Yeah, that's insane. Wow.
There are insane people that are willing to hurt themselves and risk their lives for that money. And people will go to extents of killing, no, not killing, or well, maybe killing, or risking other people's lives for that money. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense because, like, why does money really matter? I get that it forms a government, it sets up like the United States, it gets more order. But at the end of the day, would you rather have money or family? There's this YouTuber, I'm not going to say his name, well, actually I am, he puts it out there. His name is FouseyTube, and he goes through depression and stuff, and he has, I bet, millions of dollars of money. And he's been talking about lately how he's unhappy of his situation. He has this amazing apartment, but he's having these constant meltdowns because he's not surrounded by people who love him. He's surrounded by LA traffic, by the rude people in LA, negative comments, and all those things are affecting him. And not only is it affecting him, but he has depression. So on top of that, like, is money just gonna take that depression away? I'm sure if you did a survey around the world, a lot more people would say they'd rather have continuous love for the rest of their life than $1 million. And I know I'm one of those people who would say that. But then again, why aren't we all saying that? Why are there those people who would rather sacrifice continuous love, undenying love, for money? I don't get it, because money can't buy happiness.
Yes, I completely agree with that statement. And I always try to picture it in the end. Would I rather have my life at the end of the day, or be sitting in a pile of cash without my life?
Exactly.
Sort of the options sink down and up, saying, yeah, I'd rather have a full life where I can still live it, where I can still make money without risking my life to do so, because there's a chance that you could get that money, but I don't want to take a chance that could kill me.
Yeah, and I used to think, and sometimes I still think this, I used to think, like, why do we have money in the first place? Why can't we all just help each other? Why do we have to have a cost? Because it's not costing us anything to go down in a mine and mine something. Sure, it's taking work, hard work, but why can't we be those loving people and help each other? And then I realized that if we didn't have money, there would be, like, no order. Everyone would steal from each other, take advantage of each other, things like that, and then not return the favor when the favor is needed. So I understand why we have money. And like Timmy is saying, people get crazy about money to the point of where they are sacrificing their lives for it. And this is very serious. But again, I go back to the point, like, say we were a generous society like a lot of people want. Say we didn't have wars, we didn't fight over anything, which is like, I don't think that will ever happen because there's always going to be disagreements unless we can learn how to resolve this. But if it was just a loving society, we wouldn't need money. We wouldn't need to pay to help people. What we would do is we would say, hey, you want a snack? You need food? Okay, here you go. Here's the food. And in return, I want nothing. And by saying you want nothing, that favor will be returned because it's kindness and joy everywhere. And I think that's a big point.
Yeah, that is a very good point. But the thing is that there are people, I bet, who want that, who want order in this world. Does that look better? My brightness? Yeah. But then there are other people who are saying, people who probably live on a pile of cash, saying, no, this can never happen. I need money because those are the people who want power, ultimate power in the world, the ones who can say, you can look at me and know that I'm the richest man alive. You can look at me and know that I am in the 1% of the 1%. You can look at me and know that you are nothing to me, that you mean nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And all that I need is money in my life. There will be those people who all they say is that they need money, which is terrible.
That's absurd.
It is. And going back to your statement of saying, why can't we live in this peace society where money doesn't matter? And it's because people are money crazy. People are going to do that stupid crap so they can buy drugs, so they can get whatever they want. And I agree, it's completely absurd. But if we can live in a society where we say, hey, can I have a soda? Sure, go ahead, take that soda. If everyone in the world agreed to that, I think this world would go from a lower scale where there's homeless people, hungry people, all the way up to a scale where there's pretty much middle class everyone. Because, again, there are some pros and cons to that. I can see where you would be saying how it would be amazing to do that. But then there's going to be those people who still want ultimate power, who are saying, I want to mass get this item. Hey, they're giving out iPhones for free. I live with my wife and me and my dog. Can I have 10 iPhones? She can have 10 iPhones, and my dog can have 50. There are going to be those people who are going to mass produce, if that would ever happen, to say, I need this amount of money, which can be also absurd, which I can see why we have money. It keeps a lot of balance in this world.
It does. Yeah. It's scary how much balance it keeps, though. Like, everything is run by money. It doesn't matter what type of money. American dollars, English pounds, on and on. Chinese coins. It doesn't matter at all. Because at the end of the day, you're doing this for money. We go to school based on a money factor. We pay for school. We, drive cars for money, And every single thing. As humans, have evolved into these money power creatures. I'm not saying every single person, but if you think about it, money is used in your everyday life. And how did it become that? Because, at the beginning, they didn't have money. They traded things for each other. Now, I'm not saying trading is, the exact way you should do that, because you shouldn't have to trade someone for something. You should just be able to give it to them and, expect the favor to be returned later and not even expect it. But, trading is a whole lot better than having a money system where you get money crazy. And Timmy, I don't know about you, but I never understood why one of the first things people do whenever they get a lot of money is buy a really, really expensive car. And then that wipes out like half of their money. And then I know a lot of football players, they end up, spending a lot of things on cars and stuff. And then when they retire or get kicked out, they have no money. And they end up, being homeless or poor. There's a lot of cases.
And I see where you're going with that car stuff. I picture as the more money you have, the more expectations you have, if you understand that. Like, if you have 5 quintillion trillion dollars, you are people probably won't be seeing you driving around in a 1989 $5,000 car with 3 wheels. People want to see you in a Lamborghini, be like, "Hey, dog, give me a ride in that coin." Yeah, girl. People don't expect you to see in that old junk. The people, your fans see you be in a fancy suit and tie. They want to see you with the latest stuff. Best iPhone, best computer, best mic for YouTube, best mouse, best keyboard, best everything. Because money, the more of it you have, the more you're gonna get.
Mhm.
And always have looked up to those people of when people have that extra money, giving it to charity, giving it to the homeless. And I've watched so many videos that nearly make me cry to see people who give away their money, even if they don't have that much, to give it to someone who has less than them, to provide them for food so they don't starve, to provide them with enough to actually live for another day. And it makes me feel so good that there's actually good people in this world instead of these people who look down and say, "You're worthless.
Yeah.
You're not worth my money."
I
And
know.
it's painful to see that. I'm sorry. You can go.
I know what you're talking about, like what you were saying. It's painful to see it, and people looking down upon homeless people, just people in general, because they have a bigger bank account than them. And I know there's situations, social experiments that I've seen on YouTube that if it's not,
Fusi.
yeah, Fusi. Actually, this is the video I'm talking about. Fusi was acting like a homeless person, and a guy walked past, and Fusi was acting like a homeless person, and he was giving people money instead of receiving. He was saying he wanted to return the favor. So he tried to give this guy in like a suit who just came out of his car and was walking past, he tried to give him money. And the guy said, I could
buy you.
Exactly. And that, I was so disturbed by that, because I was like, what? What do you mean you can buy him? Are you going to buy that he's trying to be nice to you? Are you just saying that because you have a bigger bank account than him and you think that you could buy a human being's life? That's insane. No money is worth someone's life. And for someone to have that mentality, to have that mindset of, I have enough money to buy someone's life, and if you actually bought someone's life, like, no, you can't have that mentality. And the way he said it, it was so hateful, so disgusted that someone thought that they could give him money, thought that they could be generous even though they had less money. And then the guy ended up walking away with the money anyways. So, money, he's so greedy. Oh my
It's
gosh.
money is worth nobody's life. Nobody, how small, how old, if they're gonna die tomorrow.
It's not worth it.
Money, endless amount of money in the world, it's not worth it to take someone's life like that, to make it your own, to be a slave like that, how they used to do in the 18,000s or something.
And they still do it now. Remember how our social studies teacher told us those families are suffering and they're selling their kids and their wives off to these people who are going to give them money in return. Nobody can be bought off by money. Their life is not, like, their life is worth so much more.
There's no balance in someone's life.
Exactly. Like, you can't say, okay, listen, I'm going to give you can even offer $50 million. That's not enough for someone's life, because you have to think about it. Do you think with your $50 million that you're only worth $50 million? Do you think, like, even if you're one of these people who are doing the bad things, your life is still worth, like, everything? You would have to give every single thing, and that wouldn't even be enough. So I don't know how you can buy someone's life. because
Which
you
you
can't.
basically can't. I feel as if a lot of people are being judged by money today. You're you have a bigger bank account. You're better than this person. Not true. You can have the richest man on earth, and you can have someone who's homeless, has no money, hasn't had food or water for a couple of days, and they're sitting there begging for change. And I've seen these videos before, and it feels good. I've seen homeless give to other homeless people when they can barely afford to put food in their stomachs or clothes on their back. But I see these guys, fancy suits, nice ties coming around who probably have a wallet with at least $200 in it, go and they can't even give 1 penny to that homeless man who is begging so much because they say their life is worthless, which is it's not. No life is worthless. It is all the money times a million in the world to buy someone's life, which I don't even think would be enough because you cannot put a price on a life no matter how big, how small, how relevant it is to the cause. You can't go over to Portuguese country and say, hey, I'm going to buy you because you've been living in the middle of nowhere. You have no point to anyone else. You are only you, and nobody else cares about you. But
Exactly.
I have to say, anyone who's like that, I care about you. Your life is worth more than nothing. Your life is worth more than anything you see around me. This headset, my keyboard, anything in this room is worth more than you. Everything in this room combined
Same
is
for
worth
me.
more than you. My house, worth
Exactly.
more than you. You cannot put a price on yourself. So I care about you.
I care about you too. And everything Timmy just said is completely 100% true. And I know for a fact that homeless people give to other homeless people because I've seen it before. And I have family members that used to be homeless who gave to other homeless people. Homeless people are some of the most generous people that I've ever met, ever seen. They're some of the nicest, kindest people. And when a lot of the times, I'm not saying all of the time, when you try to help them, they ask for the smallest amounts of food because they don't want to take advantage of your money. They share with each other. I saw these homeless people. A person dropped off a pizza to this one homeless man, and there was another homeless man like a couple, kind of far away from him. It was like this big lawn. It was like a park place,
Yeah.
and he had the pizza, and the homeless man got up, moved all of his stuff, and went over to the other homeless man and shared the pizza that only had like 4 slices left. And I thought that was amazing because he could have ate those 4 slices. Because let's face it, you're a homeless person, you haven't had food in a while. I'm guessing he hasn't had food in a while, good food at least. He had 4 pieces of pizza that he could have
And
finished
he could have
himself.
shoved them all down his face within a minute.
Exactly. And he shared it.
And I'm thinking that this video is running along, so let's wrap it up, Cake. You
Hmm.
want to give the overall message?
The overall message I think me and Timmy were trying to convey here was that money is not worth anything. Money is only something that we as humans have tried to base our world around. And if we all come to that realization, I think this could be a much better world if we just realize what we're doing. And that's the message. Realize what we're doing and fix the problem. And speak out about it like we are now.
So do you want to wrap this video up?
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and hope you took something from this. We never want to ask for you to subscribe, but we do want to ask you to share this around to get it to people. And you guys can see more content from us because we do motivational speeches all the time. Especially Timmy. And they're good. Alright. Love you guys. Goodbye.
Peace out!